Hi, this is an AI narrating a fanfic, so you might hear a random number every 15 minutes. Just don't worry about it. I am so sorry for that. This fanfic is about Naruto being neglected by his parents and running away to Kumo, or the village hidden in the clouds, and he turns out to be a prodigy. Will Naruto get regenve? Will he forgive them? Watch this video to find out. This is one of my favorite fanfics I have read. BTW, I read fanfics before uploading them. I only upload fanfics that I read in. Get this video to 5 likes and 3 comments and I will release the next part. It was October 10th, the day when the giant 9-tailed fox was put under a genjutsu and was forced to attack the village hidden in the leaves too. It was also the day when 3 children were born. The oldest kid had black hair with blue eyes. His name was Naruto. The other 2 kids had blue eyes and red hair with they were Menma and Gaara. The 3rd Hokage sacrificed his life to seal the 9 tails inside Menma and Gaara. He also gave Kushina some of the chakras so she could live 3 days later. Minato was on the top of the Hokage tower talking to the people of the village. I, Minato, the 4th Hokage, is here to introduce you to our children Menma, Gaara and Naruto. Menma and Gaara have the chakra of the 9 tails and Naruto has the soul, he said as he continued, so I request you to treat Menma and Gaara as the hero of the village. Minato and Kushina didn't like Naruto since he was captured by the masked man, so they decided to lie to the villagers that Naruto has the soul of the 9 tails so that they can focus their hate on Naruto instead of Menma and Gaara. 4 years later, the civilians cornered Naruto inside an alleyway, whips clubs in their hand. Nowhere to run now, a demon. The man in the lead said. Naruto kept on saying, "Plz, stop hurting me." Why the boy curled up and got beaten into a bloody pulp. Then an Anbu with raven hair and red eyes picked up Naruto and took him to the hospital. Once Naruto woke up, then he said, "Where am I?" A voice then spoke, "You were in the hospital." Naruto looked in the direction of the voice. He saw the same Anbu that he saw before he passed out. "All your injuries are healed. I suggest you go to your home." Naruto nodded and started walking towards his home. When he reached home, he was met with a slap. "Where the hell was you?" Naruto stayed silent because if he told the truth he would be beaten up again. "Answer me, you brat." Naruto then spoke. "Why do you care? You dare to talk to me like that? Go to your room and no dinner for you." Naruto ran to his room, crying. Why me?" he kept asking himself. In a distance, Menma and Gaara were watching the whole scene with a smirk on their faces. One day later, Naruto packed his stuff and was ready for the village. It was 2 at night, so no one could see him. He applied chakra to his feet and started running at a fast pace until he was out of the village. He looked back one last time at the place that he called home. "Goodbye," he said. He started walking. He did fishing for food and drank the water from the river. He did this for few days. One day, 2 muscular men appeared in front of him. Who are you?" he asked. "What are you doing here, kid, all alone?" The man known as the Rikage asked. "I left my village," Naruto said. "Why?" I asked, a little shocked. Naruto went on to tell them his story and why he left. Killer B spoke. "Yo bro, the Hokage was lying. This kid has no 9 tails soul." "I see," said I. I turned and looked at Naruto and asked, "Hey Naruto, do you want to become the ninja of Kumo? Will they treat me the same as Konoha?" "No," said I. "They will treat you like a normal human." Naruto's eyes lit up. Yes, said Naruto. Both B and I smile, seeing how happy the boy was. "Let's go then," I said. He put Naruto on his shoulder and started to walk towards the Kumo. 5 days later at Konoha, both Minato and Kushina walked towards Naruto's room. They didn't saw him for 5 days. They thought that he was somewhere in the village and didn't pay him any mind, but today they Went to check whether he was back or not. When they opened the door they saw nothing but a note on the floor. Minato picked up the note and started reading it with Kushina. Dear Mom and Dad, I have left the village. The beatings by the villagers, getting neglected and beaten up by my own family. I couldn't take it anymore, so I left. PLZ, don't send anyone to look for me once I want to live a happy life. And PLZ, say to Kiyomi that I am sorry. Naruto 3. Both Minato and Kushina were shocked their son left the village, and they even didn't notice for 5 days. Kushina started to cry all the time. He said that the villagers beat him. She thought he was lying. What have I done to my baby? She said and started to cry. Minato felt guilty for treating Naruto like trash. He hugged his wife and said, don't worry, I will bring him back. I will send my Anbu to find him immediately. Minato told the news to Menma and Gaara. He was surprised when Menma smirked and Gaara was sad and felt guilty about the way she treated Naruto. It had been 8 years since Naruto left the village. Minato had sent many Anbu to look for Naruto, but they all couldn't find him. He also told the news Kiyomi, the sister of Itachi and Sasuke, about the news. Let's say she didn't take it in a good way. Gaara and Kushina got depressed when the topic of Naruto was brought. The villagers were happy and even had parties after receiving the news that the demon left. Both Menma had Gaara were genin. Also their team consists of Menma, Gaara, Sasuke, Kiyomi and Sakura. Their Jonin sensei were Kakashi and Kushina. They even went on a mission Crank, and it actually became an A-rank mission where they encountered Zabuza and Haku. After that mission, Minato had decided to enroll the rookies of this year into the Chunin exam in Kumo. After the day Naruto was brought in the village by the raikage, he was also adopted by the raikage and also met a woman now who he called Mom. Her name was Yua. Naruto was called the biggest prodigy of the cloud. He had created 2S rank lighting jutsu. Naruto had also obtained the legendary Phoenix contract. The only reason the Phoenix accepted Naruto because his heart has pure and he was the destined child to save this world, and with that contract Naruto's fire jutsu was very strong. Even most Jonin couldn't compete with Naruto when it came to fire jutsu. Present time. You called us Dad, said Naruto. He had spiky black hair, blue eyes, fair skin. He wore blue t-shirt and Anbu pants. Yes, Naruto. Yugito and Amoi will be taking part in this year's Chunin exam, which is being held in Konoha. Your team sensei will be Killer B. I see, said Naruto. Yugito looked at Naruto with a worried look on her face. She knew Naruto's past and how Konoha treated him over this years. She has gotten really close that Naruto calls her Yugito ni. She also saw him as a little brother, unlike other girls who liked Naruto because he was the son of Raikage and was a genius. She liked him as a person. You will be heading to Konoha tomorrow morning, is that clear? They all nodded and left, except Naruto. Why, Dad? Naruto said. Naruto, I know that you don't want to go to that village, but you were the one who said to me that you don't hate Konoha. Besides, you are the best genin in the Cloud Village. You going to the exam will show Konoha their mistakes. Naruto understood, but still he didn't want to go to Konoha. But if it is for his dad, he will do it. Fine, Dad, I will do it only because you said so. I smiled and said, thanks, son. Now go get prepared for your trip to Konoha. Naruto nodded and disappeared in a burst of flames. Then Yua entered the room and said, do you think he will be fine? I similed and said, he needs to get over his fears and I believe in him that he will be fine. Yua smiled and said, let's hope so. I will go to help him pack. I nodded and went back to his paperwork. 5 At Naruto's home. Hey Naruto, where are you? Mom, Naruto said and hugged Yua. You know I will be going to Konoha. I thought it would be bad, but when I thought about it, I will have a good chance to display my skills and show Konoha that the Cloud Village is the strongest. Yua smiled at her sons, thinking, you are Correct, you are the Cloud Village's hope. Naruto, don't you worry mom, I will beat everyone and become a Chunin. Well, the confidence is good, but don't underestimate your offense that may lead to your defeat. Yes mom, I will do my best and make you proud. Yua smiled. I am sure you will. Now let's go, I will help you pack. Naruto nodded. One in Konoha. This year's Chunin exam are gonna be the one to remember, said Minato. Indeed they will, said Jiraiya. I've heard the son of the Raikage is extremely skilled. If anyone of our genin want to beat him, they will have to train hard. Yes, that is why I wanted you to train Menma and Gaara. Kiyomi and Sasuke will be trained by Kakashi. I see. You are prepared, aren't you? Said Jiraiya. I have to be. This Chunin exams can boost Konoha reputation since the Cloud is also taking part in it. Indeed it will. I will take my leave now. I have to train those two brats of yours, said Jiraiya. Minato nodded. Next day, we are ready to go, said Naruto. Goodbye mom, dad, I will see you in the finals of the Chunin exams. Yua and I smiled, and Killer Bee smirked. Let's get going, said Yugito. Everyone nodded and left towards the Leaf Village. 3 days later. We are finally here, said Amoi. Yes we are, said Yugito. Naruto's attitude completely changed from happy to dead serious. Yugito knew Naruto, his mood always changes when they go on some high-rank mission. She knew her brother knows when to be serious and cold and when to too happy and kind. They entered the village and head straight towards the Hokage's tower. B spoke, we are here for a meeting with the Hokage. Yo. The secretary nodded and took them to the office. They knowed on the door and heard, come in. They entered the room and saw Minato doing his paperwork. Lord Hokage, we are here to discuss about the Chunin exams, a dark cold voice said. Minato looked up to see who spoke. One he saw his spoke. His eyes widened. Na Naruto, Minato said. Naruto didn't react. B knew the situation could go out of hand, so he interfered. Yo, I am Killer B, these are my genins. Minato quickly took his eyes off Naruto and listened to B and nodded. Would you mind introducing them to me? B nodded. This white hair is Amoi. The blonde is Yugito and the black hair is the son of Raikage. Naruto. Minato eyes widened when he heard the Naruto was the son of the Raikage. He looked at Naruto and could tell that didn't hate him, but he also didn't care about him. It was like Naruto was looking at a stranger. Minato simply accepted their form and told them to leave. Well, that went well. I thought you would get angry, said Amoi. There is no need to be angry. I don't see him as anything more than a Hokage. Yugito looked at Naruto with a worried look on her face. B spoke. Naruto is right, holding grudges will only give you goosebumps. Night. Yay. Naruto smiled as he remembered someone. You guys can, I will meet you at the hotel. Okay, just don't be late, Yugito said. Don't worry Yugito ni, I will come before night. With that he disappeared in purple flames. Show off, said Yugito. Naruto ran towards the Uchiha compound to meet the girl who was the only friend he had back then. He knowed on the door. The door was opened by a boy with raven hair and black eyes. Hey, Itachi, said Naruto with a small smile on his face. And Naruto, Itachi said, shocked. Is Kiyomi here? He said, no, she is training with Kakashi. Why don't you come inside? Itachi said with a smile. Naruto nodded and came inside and told Itachi everything except any of his abilities. So you are the famous son as the Raikage everyone has been talking about. Naruto scratched the back of his head and said, man, I didn't knew that I was that popular. Trust me, you are said to be the biggest challenge in the Chunin exams this year. I guess well, I will take my leave. It was nice to meet to again, Itachi. Same here, Naruto. Goodbye, he said and disappeared in purple flames. Itachi smiled. Kiyomi will probably freak out after I tell her this, he thought. One Naruto went back to hotel and stepped back when he saw the look on Yugito's face. Hey sis, what's wrong? Yugito looked at him with fire in her eyes. You were the one who stole my book, she said with fire in her eyes. Sry Oni-sen, I will never do it again, Naruto said scared. Ah, I can't stay mad at my little brother, can I? She said with a smile. But if you do this again there will be punishment, ha ha. Said Naruto. Good, now whom did you visit? Oh, Itachi Uchiha, he is the one I told you about who used to guard me from the villagers. I see. Sue, did you met her? Yugito said with a grin. Naruto blushed and said, no, with a sad look on his face. Well, the Hokage and a red-hair woman came here to talk to you. Naruto sighed. Well, I am glad I wasn't in the hotel when that happened. Yugito nodded, but you will have to talk to them eventually, you know. I know, but not for few days at least. Yugito nodded. They went to sleep. Hey Naruto, wake up. Wake up Naruto, wake up, said Yugito. I am up. Yugito ni. Well, get ready, the Hokage wants to meet you in 2 hours. Man, seriously, that guy will not give up, Naruto said. Yugito chuckled. It's not funny. I know, to go get ready. Yeah, said Naruto. After 1 hour Naruto was walking around the village and surprisingly the villagers were greeting him with smiles instead of hateful glares. Naruto was walking around until he saw someone familiar. He smiled and approached the person. Hey Kiyomi, it has been a long time, hasn't it? Kiyomi looked from where the voice when she saw who it was. Her eyes widened. Nar Naruto, she said. Hey, he said with a smile. How are you here? She said with tears in her eyes. Ouch, I thought you would say hi or greet me in some sort of way. Kiyomi ran towards Naruto and gave him a huge hug. Naruto smiled and they both disappeared in purple flames. Kiyomi was still hugging Naruto and said, I missed you so much. Naruto smiled. Ooh, and I thought you wouldn't remember me. Kiyomi broke the hug and said, of course I would remember you, how can I ever forget you? Naruto smiled. I guess you are right. Naruto and Kiyomi talked about their lives in the past 8 years. So you are the famous son of the Raikage, Kiyomi said with a smile. Man, seriously, am I really that popular? You are our sensei told us that you are extremely strong. Naruto nodded. Well, I guess this is it, I have to go to meet with the Hokage. Kiyomi looked at him. Naruto with a worried look on her face and said, are you fine? I am fine, don't worry about me. Well, bye. Then he disappeared in purple flames. Show off, said Kiyomi. 3 at the Hokage's tower. Come in, said Minato. Naruto entered the room where he saw his biological family. Ah, Naruto, come to take your sit. I would prefer to stand, Lord Hokage, if that is fine with you, Naruto said coldly. Naruto, Kushina said. Why have I been summoned, Lord Hokage? Naruto said, completely ignoring Kushina. Hey, don't ignore us. Menma said with anger. Well, Naruto, I have called you here because we wanted to. Minato was cut off. There is no need to apologize, Lord Hokage. I have already forgiven your family. What do you mean by your family? This is your family as well, said Menma. No, it's not. My family is at Cloud Village. What do you mean by Cloud Village? Said Menma, still angry that Naruto was ignoring him. I am the adopted son of the Raikage. My adopted mother name is Yua, my sister name is Yugito, and I am a ninja of the Cloud Village. Kushina, Minato and Gaara felt their heartbreak when Naruto said about his family, I have forgiven your family. That still doesn't mean I care about your family. To me you are a complete stranger. Naruto said, ha ha ha, the Cloud Village has fallen if you are the infamous son of the Raikage that I been warned about. A fireblade went past Menma's cheek and burnt it a little. Speak what you say, Menma. I will not tolerate any insult to the Cloud Village. Minato was shocked. The flames were coming out of Naruto's hand like a blade, and he even didn't perform any hand sign. Naruto ni plz. Forgive me, Menma ni will not insult the Cloud Village anymore, Gaara said. Don't call me ni-san, I am not your brother, and you better watch your brother's mouth, Lord Hokage. If this is what you wanted, I will take my leave. Minato nodded. Naruto disappeared in purple flames. Minato looked at his family. Kushina was about to cry. Same can be said for Gaara. Menma, on the other hand, was pissed that the loser just insulted him. He will make him pay. Minato looked at Menma and spoke. Naruto is right. Menma, you can't insult any village. You better think before you speak. Yes, Dad, Menma said. He hates us, Kushina said with tears in her eyes. I don't think he hates us, he just doesn't care about us, said Minato with regret in his eyes too. At the hotel. So how did the meeting go? Asked Yugito. Better than I expected, said Naruto. Well, B-sensei wanted to meet you so that you can perfect your lighting jutsu. Naruto looked at his hand and said, man, I still can't master that jutsu. Even if I came up with the jutsu, it is still very tough. Well, what do you expect? It is an S-rank lighting jutsu. Even if you were the one who came up with it, Naruto sighed. I guess you are right. Well, let's go, said Naruto. Yugito nodded. She also had to train hard for these exams. 6 days later. Man, the Chunin exams are gonna start tomorrow, said Naruto. Yeah, and you better don't get lazy. Amoi, said Yugito. Yeah, don't worry about me. Yo kids, let's get this work done and have some fun. Yay, fun, said the 3 genins. Yeah, hot springs we will go so you can relax and be good to go. The 3 genins nodded and finished their training. Hey B-sensei, said Naruto. What's up, bro? Said B. Do you think I can really master that jutsu? It's been 2 weeks and I still can't master it. B smiled and looked at Naruto. Listen, Naruto, you are the most gifted ninja I have ever seen, plus you work hard. If anyone can master it, it is you. Thanks B-sensei for believing in me. Don't worry, bro, I will help you with Eto. Okay, let's go to the hot springs. My hands hurt like hell. B nodded. And they both went to the hot springs. Naruto and his team were walking towards the academy floor. No. 3 is what B-sensei told us, right? Asked Naruto. Yes, he did, replied Yugito. They were walking in. Noticed the genjutsu. Naruto glanced at Yugito and she nodded. They were going towards the exam room. Until they saw Menma fighting Rock Lee into a tie battle. Rock Lee was about to remove his weights, but was stopped by Might Guy. That Rock Lee fellow was wearing weights, said Amoi. I know that is hiding his true strength, said Naruto. He might be a challenge for you, said Yugito. Whatever, said Naruto. They entered the room and were invited by Killing Intent. Naruto and his team shrugged it off. Naruto was hugged by Kiyomi. Hey, where were you? I haven't met you for 6 days. Naruto sweat dropped. Kiyomi, it's only 6 days. Besides, I was training with B-sensei. So that's Kiyomi. Huh, thought Yugito. Man, she is hot, thought Amoi as he looked at Kiyomi. You guys are making too much noise, said a voice. They turn around to see Kabuto. OSRY about that, said Naruto, scratching the back of his head. I think you all are rookies. I can give you information about anyone you want, said Kabuto with a smirk. Sasuke stepped up and asked to give me information about Rock Lee. Gaara of the Sand and the son of the Raikage. Kabuto filed a card and said, first, Rock Lee. He has done 68D rank mission, 10 crank and 2B rank mission. He has no talent in ninjutsu or genjutsu but is extremely good at taijutsu. Second, Gaara of the Sand, the son of the Kazekage. He has done 88D rank mission, 56 crank, 7B rank and 2A rank mission, and it is said that he came out all of this mission without a scratch. Naruto narrowed his eyes at Gaara. Yugito, do you think he is? Yugito nodded. This is not Good, said Naruto. At last the son of the Raikage Naruto of the Cloud, he has done 60D rank mission. 40 crank 20B rank 10 A rank and my god 2S rank mission. He is said to be extremely skilled at fire and lightning jutsu. Everyone looked at Naruto in awe. This boy has done S rank mission. Ino and the other girls looked at Naruto with hearts in their eyes. He is so handsome and strong, they thought, but Yugito was looking at Kiyomi and pulled her aside to talk. Hey, what's wrong? Said Kiyomi. Listen girl, my brother trusts you with his life. If you betray or hurt his feelings, I will cut you into small pieces and feed you to cats. Are we clear? Yes ma'am, said Kiyomi with fear in her eyes. Man, she really is scary, as Naruto told me. She is overprotective of him. Then in a puff of smoke a tall man appeared and said, all right you brats, get to your seats. Naruto passes the exam easily. Since he is a genius in this. What if? Then the window burst open and purple hair women appeared with a poster written super sexy Anko. All right maggots, I am the proctor for the second round of the exam. Meet me at the training ground number 44 in 1 hour. 1 hour later. All right, this is area number 44, also known as the Forest of Death. You will sign these forms to enter the exams. These forms say that if you die, Konoha won't be responsible for your death. Anko said, which made some of the genins scared. Some of the genins left and the other signed the forms. Okay, 3 2 1 begin, said Anko. Naruto and his left walked towards the forest. So what's the plan? Asked Yugito. Well, it's quite simple. We will search for the teams with the Heaven Scroll and beat them down, said Naruto. Everyone sweat dropped. And how are we gonna know which team has the Heaven Scroll? Said Amoi. Well, we will just go to the team and say that we have an Earth Scroll. If they fight us, then have Heaven. If they don't, they have Earth. Both Yugito and Amoi nodded. Well, let's go to them. For the next day they got the scroll that they needed and decided to rest for the night. Naruto and others were heading towards the tower until Naruto felt a dark chakra and decided to check it out. When they arrived, they saw Sasuke beating a sound genin. After Sasuke beat down the sound genin, he turned towards Menma and started beating him. Since Menma was tired after their battle with Orochimaru, Naruto saw Menma getting beaten down. Naruto decided to step in. Sasuke was about to pooch Menma in the face, but Naruto grabbed his hand and pooched Sasuke in the stomach. But Naruto didn't stop there. Naruto went through a hand sign and said fire style red streaming flames. The flames hit Sasuke and knocked him out. Well, that was easy, said Naruto. Naruto looked at Kiyomi and said, are you alright? She nodded. Are you fine? Said Naruto. Looking at Menma. I didn't need your help, loser. Say whatever you want, thank you, Naruto said. Gaara. Naruto nodded. Let's go, said Naruto. As they all disappeared, Naruto arrived at the top of the tower and opened the scrolls where Kushina appeared. Hey, you passed the second phase of the exam. Go and rest for days left. They all nodded. Kushina said, Naruto, can I speak to you? Naruto turned around and said, yes, Lady Kushina. What do you want to speak about? Naruto, I am just sorry for treating you the way I did. As I said, Lady Kushina, I have already forgiven you. Naruto, you know, we could talk and spend some time together. I know I don't have the right to be called your mother, but at least I want to be your friend. Sure, Lady Kushina, we could become friends after the exams. But I don't want to be called a part of the Namikaze family. Kushina smiled. Thanks, Naruto. Naruto smiled and said, see ya. You'll also like Naruto fanfic. The ultimate UI user 59 Kelvins 703 read to know. What is this story? And yeah, I don't own Naruto. It is owned by Kishimoto. I don't own UI Technique. It is owned by Akira Toriyama. N of Konoha 17-1 Kelvin 395. Naruto got kidnapped at the Konoha's hospital and got Experimented by Orochimaru. Will he be able to escape after 14 years of being experimented? You don't understand. Naruto fanfiction 50 Kelvins 901. When the fourth Hokage sealed the Kyuubi no Yoko inside Naruto, he left a dying wish. His dying wish was for the village to see Naruto as a hero for keeping the Kyuubi. The Wood Fox 94 9 Kelvins 15 Kelvins. A Naruto fanfic. Hope you guys enjoy. I don't own any characters. There is going to be Sasuke and Sakura bashing from time to time. Please enjoy Inheritance Book 1. 78K16K. Iruka takes Mizuki's shuriken to the back in place of Naruto, thinking Iruka to be dead. Naruto loses control and prepares to unleash the Kyuubi. However, before he can tee Naruto the Biju holder 12.6 Kelvins 191. What if Hashirama kept all the Biju? What if Naruto became the Jinchuriki of them? I'll see how Naruto's life changes in this story. Naruto the Shinigami's screw up 62.6 Kelvins 16K. Who said only humans can make mistakes? Meet Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, a human Shinigami carrier of Kyuubi's soul, a dutiful big brother and the proud symbol of the love. 3 days later, Minato gave his speech about peace that the Chunin exams represent and said there will be preliminary rounds. Okay, every match went the same except Menma Gaara and had their fight with random Rain Village Genins, and won. Kiyomi fought Amoi and barely won. Let's get to the interesting fights. Kiba vs Gaara of the Sand. Come down, please, I forfeit, said Kiba. Winner by forfeit. Gaara of the Sand. The final match is between Naruto of Cloud vs Rock Lee. Yosh, I couldn't have asked for a better opponent to show my skills, said Lee. Yeah, let's do this, said Naruto. Naruto walked towards the area and Lee jumped from the railings. Ready. They both nodded. Begin. Lee rushed towards Naruto, aiming for a pooch at the face. But Naruto dogged it and sent a kick towards Lee which connected and sent Lee flying. This went for a while Lee trying to hit Naruto and Naruto dogging Lee. Take them off, said Guy. Are you serious, Guy? Sensei Guy gave Lee a thumbs up. Lee took off his weights and everyone was shocked at the stance. Man, Naruto is in trouble, said Amoi. I don't think so, said Yugito. What do you mean, said Amoi. You will see, he is just toying around with the Lee guy. I see, said Amoi. One at the arena. Naruto took his left hand out of his pocket and smirked. Well, I guess it's time to get serious. Lee launched towards Naruto with a kick. Naruto brought of his hand and blocked it. Lee then went for the punch, which Naruto dogged. Lee then came under Naruto and kicked him in the air. Lee then wrapped his bandages around Naruto, but Naruto said fire style. Fire burst. Fire engulfed Naruto's body and burned Lee fell with his hand burnt, whereas Naruto landed as if nothing even happened. Lee looked at the guy and Guy nodded. Suddenly green aura enveloped which picked Naruto's interest. First gate open, second gate open, third gate open, fourth gate open, fifth gate open. With that, Lee rushed at Naruto and delivered and kicked him in the face. Lee didn't give Naruto time to recover as he punched Naruto and sent him crashing into the wall. Man, this guy's speed is insane. If I want to keep up with him, I will have to use my fire clock. Suddenly fire engulfed Naruto's body at the stance. This Lee guy's insane ability to push Naruto this far is nothing but amazing. Only I have been able to push him so far, and still I think that Lee guy has the upper hand when it comes to power, but Naruto has the speed advantage. This is interesting, thought Yugito. Man, Lee is that strong? I had no idea, said Kiba. Yeah, but looks like Naruto is getting serious, said Shikamaru. This is gonna be interesting, said Kakashi as he looked at both of the genins at the arena. The real fight starts now. Lee, said Naruto as they both rushed at each other to the genin, and even some Chunin they were nothing but blurs. Lee came down at Naruto with a kick which Naruto blocked but still sent him flying. Man, I need time to go through the hand signs necessary for my jutsu, but this guy won't give me any time to do so, Naruto thought as he dogged another kick from Lee. Naruto quickly formed a fire blade and swung it at Lee, which luckily connected. Good, now do the jutsu, Naruto thought as he went through several hand signs as Naruto's fire clock disappeared and went into his hands as the wind picked up around Naruto. Fire style fire control, Blazing King, Naruto said as he sends a huge phoenix made of fire towards Lee. The attack came at Lee so fast that he was unable to dodge and took a direct hit as the smoke cleared. Lee was on the ground unconscious. The proctor then announced the winner of the match. Naruto of the Cloud. Naruto was panting that jutsu was his most powerful fire technique and could only be performed by someone who has a phoenix contract at the stance. All the jonins looked at Naruto with awe. That jutsu was easily a rank or maybe even higher, said Asuma, whereas the other jonins could only nod with an agreement. At the arena, Lee opened his eyes. He regained his consciousness and looked at Naruto, but he still couldn't move. Naruto then spoke. You are a worthy opponent, Lee. No genin or even chunin in my village can push me this far. You are right about one thing, Lee. Hard work does beat talent, and you and your sensei are the living proof of that. I hope we can fight again someday. At the stance, man. That Lee guy is something to push you to use your strongest fire jutsu, said Yugito. Yay, if hadn't caught him off guard with my fire blade, which I guess he was surprised him, I would have to use my lighting jutsu, which I still don't want to show, said Naruto. You are right about that, said Amoi. Will all the contest come down to the arena PLZ, as all of them came down? The finals of the Chunin exams will be held after a month, and the final matches are Menma vs Neji, Kakuro vs Shino, Kara vs Sasuke, Kiyomi vs Yugito, Shikamaru vs Tamari, Naruto vs Gaara. You all have 1 month to prepare. Good luck. 1 hour later. So with whom are you gonna train with? Said Yugito. I don't know, maybe B Sensei if he wants to train me, that is. You can go train with B Sensei. I will train on my own. I will need to train alone if I want to control the jutsu that I want to control without hurting my body, said Yugito. You mean the Nibi's chakra? I guess you are right, athlete. You don't go on a rampage anymore, said Naruto jokingly. Whatever, I think you need B Sensei more than I do. I know you will be trying to master your S-rank lighting jutsu and you will overdo it, blow your arm off or something, so I prefer B Sensei watching over your training so that you don't go overboard, I guess. You are right, said Naruto, scratching the back of his head. Well, I guess I will meet you in few weeks. I will visit you daily, so don't overdo it, okay, said Yugito. Don't worry, Yugito ni, I will take care of myself, said Naruto with a smile, assuring her that he will be fine. Well then, see ya, said Yugito as she sunshine out of there. Well, I guess I better pay a visit to Kiyomi-chan. I will not be able to meet her for a month. Naruto visits Kiyomi as she told him that she and Sasuke will be training out of the village with Kakashi for a month, as she kissed Naruto on the cheek and said goodbye and left a blushing Naruto by Jaw 7 follow. It has been a month since the preliminaries of the Chunin exams. Today was the day when the finals of the Chunin exams will be held. The raikage also came to watch the finals. Many people from outside the village came to watch the finals. At the arena, man, this is so troublesome, muttered Shikamaru. For once I agree with you, Shikamaru. I didn't know Chunin exams were this big of a deal, said Kiyomi as the other genins could only nodded in agreement. Gaara walked up to Yugito and said, where is Naruto, with a scary smile on his face. Don't worry, your match is at the last. I am sure he will show up until then, said Yugito. Gaara nodded and went beside his siblings. Okay, will everyone leave the arena except Menma and Neji Hyuga? Everyone left except Neji and Menma. You might as well quit. I am destined to win this match, Menma just scoffed. Are you both ready? Said the proctor as they both nodded. Begin. Menma made 6 shadow clones to test Neji's skills. All shadow clones rushed towards Neji as Menma clones engaged him in a taijutsu battle as Neji dispelled them easily. If you want to win, you will have to fight me yourself. These clones are nothing compared to me, said Neji with a smirk. Okay, then what about these water style water bullets, said Menma as he blew small water bullets from his mouth towards Neji. Neji started to spin and create a chakra dome around him as he said, rotation, as he deflects Menma's water jutsu. It is useless, you can't win against me, said Neji. Menma then threw 10 kunai towards Neji. Neji quickly did the rotation and deflected them all, but then he noticed 2 of the kunai had seals on them. So you learned your father technique, but to teleport to me you need to seals near me. This won't happen because if my technique just gives up you can't win. No, not yet, said Menma as he rushed at Neji. He and Neji went into a taijutsu battle in which Neji managed to block some of Menma's chakra points. Neji was about to hit Menma again, then Menma suddenly vanished and appeared in front of one of the kunais that he left. Neji smirked. You see, I have both greater offense and defense. How will you win? I have trained with Hinata enough to know the weakness of the Byakugan. The blind spot behind your head, said Menma. Neji got worried, then he spoke. I have that covered. You will not get any chance to capitalize on it. Menma smirked as he created 5 clones as they all threw kunai all over the stadium wall and vanished and appeared again and again and kept on throwing shuriken and kunai towards Neji. Some of them cut nothing serious Neji as one of the kunai hit Neji as went to remove it but saw a sealing formula on it. Shit, thought Neji as Menma appeared in front of Neji and punched him with a chakra enhanced fist which sent Neji flying. Neji quickly got up and Menma rushed towards Neji, but then Neji spoke. You were in my field. I'd vision 8 teograms, 2 palms, 4 palms, 8 palms, 16 palms, 32 palms, 64 palms. As he closed all of Menma's chakra points. You have lost. I have closed all your chakra points, Menma cursed. Then he remembered his training with Jiraiya about the 9 tails chakra. After this, most of the fight went the same as canon as Neji told him about his father and his clan, and Menma told that he will change the Hyugas after he becomes the Hokage. But instead of rushing towards Neji with a kunai, he rushed at Neji with a Rasengan and actually broke through Neji's ultimate defense. Winner Menma Namikaze, as the crowd gave Menma a huge round of applause at the cage boot. Well, that sure was an interesting match, said Minato. Who would have thought that you would have taught him your teleportation jutsu, said the raikage. Well, I need him to be prepared to face Naruto. I knew after seeing Naruto's last fight that Menma was no match for him, so I thought teaching him the Flying Thunder God would give him an advantage, said Minato. You think so? I have noticed the weakness of that jutsu. He hasn't completely mastered it yet, has he? You don't know what my son is capable of. If Hokage, he's a genius. He will spot the weakness behind that jutsu in second, said I. Well, where is he? I don't see him. Everyone, even Kakashi, is on time with Sasuke and Kiyomi, said Kazekage. I just smiled. I would not be worried about him, he said. At the arena, will Konkuru and Shino come to the arena? PLZ. I forfeit, said Konkuru. Genma then announced the winner by forfeit. Shino, will Kara and Sasuke come down? Are you both ready? As they both nodded, Sasuke then went on and opened a sealing scroll and took out his katana. Mito and Sasuke rushed at each other as they both engaged Sasuke with his katana and Mito with her kunai. Sasuke got the upper hand and cut Mito on her arms as it slowly began to heal. Sasuke vanished and kicked her in the face, showing his superior speed and strength. "You are too slow, Gaara." An angry look could be seen on Gaara's face as she activated her chakra chains and rushed at Sasuke. Sasuke then threw his katana at Gaara as she caught it with her chains. Sasuke then smirked as he went through hand signs and said, "Lighting style lighting discharge," as Sasuke katana began to charge up with lighting and electrocuted Gaara as she fell to the ground. "This battle is over," he said. "I didn't even use my Sharingan." "Not yet," Gaara said as red chakra appeared around her as Sasuke's eyes widened. Gaara looked at Sasuke with an angry look on her face as she kicked Sasuke and then punched him. "Take me seriously," said Gaara while glaring at Sasuke. Sasuke wiped the blood off his face and activated his 3 tomos. Sharingan. Gaara rushed at Sasuke with her one tails chakra clock but was surprised when Sasuke dogged her pooch and kicked her always and went through hand signs and said, "Lighting style lighting dragon jutsu," as he sent lighting dragon towards Gaara. "Water style water dragon jutsu," as she sent her own water dragon towards Sasuke's lighting dragon as they both cancelled out each other. Then Sasuke went through another set of hand signs. "Fire style fireball jutsu," Sasuke said. Gaara brought her chains around her like a shield and protected herself when she let go of. She saw Sasuke at the walls, his hands out and lightning crackling in his hands. Gaara made a shadow clone and made Rasengan. They both collided their attacks, which created a huge explosion. Once the smoke cleared, Mito was unconscious and Sasuke was on one knee. "Winner of the match Sasuke Uchiha. At the stance, man, Sasuke has gotten a lot stronger," said Menma. Even if his sister lost, he wasn't mad because she did her best. Menma wasn't so sure about him defeating Sasuke anymore. "That Sasuke guy is strong," said Amoi as Yugito nodded. She was still wondering where was Naruto as she was starting to get worried. Will Yugito and Kiyomi Uchiha come down to the arena? At the arena, both Yugito and Kiyomi came down. "At the arena, I hope you are ready," Yugito said. "Kiyomi, I would not be worried about myself," said Yugito with a smirk. "Are you both ready?" They both nodded. "Begin." They both rushed at each other, Yugito with her katana and Kiyomi with her kunai. They were just blurs to the civilians and most of the genin. Yugito slashed Kiyomi at her coat. "Well, you are pretty fast if I most say so," said Kiyomi. "Same goes for you," said Yugito. Kiyomi tore off her coat, which had weights on it, making most of the guys that were her age blush since it was showing a lot of her cleavage. Kiyomi rushed towards Yugito and they both were doing a taijutsu battle. Kiyomi flipped back as Yugito sent small mouse made up of fire. Kiyomi ran through hand sign and said fire style fireball jutsu as both attacks cancelled out each other. They both ran through hand signs. Kiyomi said lighting style lighting dragon jutsu fire style blue flame dance as Yugito used the Nibi's chakra to produce the flames. In contract, both attacks cancelled out each other and created a huge smoke that filled the arena. Kiyomi then activated her 3 Tomos Sharingan and rushed at Yugito as Yugito made her nails longer like blades. They both rushed at each other. It was obvious that Kiyomi had the advantage. Kiyomi then kicked Yugito, sending her flying. "She is strong. Only Naruto has pushed me this far in a battle." As red chakra engulfed Yugito as her nails became more longer, she rushed towards Kiyomi and they started their taijutsu battle. "Hey kitten, you can't keep this up for long, you have to end it now," said Nibi. Yugito flipped back in, said let's end this with one last attack, said Yugito. Kiyomi didn't want to admit, but she was tired and could not keep this up for long. Fortunately, she had the same idea as Yugito. She nodded and went through hand signs as lighting started clacking through her hands as Yugito sent as of the nibbies. Chakra in her hands and created a blue fire blade in her hand. They both rushed at each other and slammed her attacks, causing a huge explosion at the Kate boot. Looks like that was their final attacks. Said I. Indeed it was. I say they both should be promoted to Chunin, said Minato, as both Kazekage and the Raikage nodded. This time it is the actual Kazekage and no invasion. Orochimaru is not a fool to go against a battle against Minato Jiraiya and the same time, and he was pretty sure the Raikage would help Minato because of Naruto at the arena. The smoke started to clear up as everyone was at the edge. Their sits smoke cleared as both of them were standing completely exhausted. Both of them then collapse. The proctor was gonna announce that it is draw, then Yugito barely stood up to feat proctor. Smile at Yugito and said winner of the match Yugito, as the people in the stance were shocked. Kiyomi was the prodigy of the Uchiha clan and she was defeated. Even if the match was very close, they still could not believe that Yugito won. The medics rushed towards the arena and took both Yugito and Kiyomi for treatment at the stance. Sasuke was shocked his sister was as strong as him and this cloud girl defeated her in this. What is Sasuke is not emo, he is still arrogant but not as much as Kanon. And he respects people who are strong and doesn't look down on them. One at the arena will Naruto of the cloud and Gaara of the sand come down to the arena. Gaara came down to the arena but Naruto didn't came down. Naruto of the cloud, please come down or you will be disqualified. Then in a purple flames Naruto appeared in the arena. I am not late, am I? Naruto said, scratching the back of his head. No, you are not. You would be disqualified if you were late for some seconds. Sorry about that, said Naruto, scratching the back of his head at the stance. Yugito and Kiyomi came back to the stance after getting healed. Yugito face palmed. Man, he did his on purpose to make a flashy entrance. Kiyomi just chuckle. I guess you'll also like Naruto. The Shinigami's screw up 62-6 Kelvin's 16K who said only humans can make mistakes. Meet Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, a human Shinigami carrier of Kyuubi's soul, a dutiful big brother and the proud symbol of the love. Naruto, a fated mistake 17-2 Kelvin's 252. The sage, tired of his children's constant fighting, plays some strings as during the ceiling the fourth makes a mistake and almost rips out Naruto's soul in doing so. Naruto fanfic. The ultimate UI user 59 Kelvin's 703 read to know what is this story. And yeah, I don't own Naruto. It is owned by Kishimoto. I don't own UI Technique. It is owned by Akira Toriyama. Kitsune and Neko 36-4 Kelvin's 769 and quote, hey Naruto, it's been a year since the village announced you as dead. I don't believe them. I don't believe them at all. And quote, Ino said on the verge of tears. And quotes no Kami 64 Kelvin's 165 detailed summary. This is the story of Naruto as he discovers his burden the night of his 6th birthday. Everyone knows that Jinchurikis get special abilities from the neglected Naruto prodigy Namikaze 148 Kelvin's 23 Kelvin's. What if Naruto parents never died? What if Naruto had a younger siblings? What if Naruto was neglected? Find out the journey of a young boy who is neglected and joins the Wood Fox 94-9 Kelvin's 15 Kelvin's, a Naruto fanfic. Hope you guys enjoy. I don't own any characters. There is going to be Sasuke and Sakura bashing from time to time. Please enjoy at the cage box. I just started to laugh. That's my boy, he said. Minato just started to chuckle. I guess he wanted flashy entrance. The Kazekage just stared at Naruto at the arena. Gaara just stared at Naruto with a sadistic grin on his face. Mother wants your blood. I will kill you and prove my existence. You know, you don't need to kill to prove yourself. Having precious people is how you prove your existence, said Naruto. Gaara grabbed his head Shikaku, telling him not to listen. Naruto, are you both ready? They both Nodded. Begin. Gaara threw sand shuriken towards Naruto and Naruto made a fire blade and cut through. The sand shuriken. Naruto went through hand signs and said fire style fire incineration as Gaara send his sand towards Naruto's fire, but when Naruto's and Gaara sand collided and crystallized Gaara's sand, Naruto smirk. Naruto then activated his fire clock and rushed at Gaara and kicked him. Gaara's sand was reduced. Do it. Begin. Crystallized. Naruto started beating Gaara and Gaara's sand was too slow to keep up with Naruto's fire clock. At the stance, Tamari and Kankuro were watching in awe. No one has ever damaged Gaara this much. Other genin were just watching Naruto in awe. Yugito just smiled. His speed has increased even more than before. She thought at the cage boot. I was just watching the battle with a huge smile on his face. Minato just watched in awe. The son he thought was a failure was beating Gaara with ease. Kazekage was just shocked to see Gaara get beaten down like that. One at the arena, Gaara stood up with burning marks all over his body. Sand started forming around Gaara like a dome. When Naruto went to cut through the dome with his fire blade, spikes came out which even Naruto's fire blade could not cut through. Naruto flipped back and gained a decent distance between him and Gaara. Naruto went through hand signs and suddenly purple lighting formed around Naruto's hand and Naruto started running towards Gaara. Purple lighting, said Naruto as pierced right through Gaara's sand dome and stabbed him in the stomach where the seal was. Gaara screamed out in pain. Blood, my blood, said Gaara. He tried to use Shukaku's chakra but he couldn't. Gaara then dropped to his knees staring at Naruto. What have you done? Why can't I hear? Mother, said Gaara. Well, I knew that you would try to use your Biju's chakra, so I asked B-sensei to teach me some sealing techniques to suppress your Biju's chakra. Gaara then stood up. I can't lose. I won't lose. I have to prove my existence, said Gaara. Your existence to who? To the demon who has messed up your mind. You have to find friends. Gaara, the seal I placed on you is permanent. That Shukaku won't bother you anymore. Why are you doing this? Why are you helping me? Because you are someone who is just lost just like I was, but when I found people who accepted me, I didn't need to prove my existence. I became stronger on my own. My desire to protect other people is what that has made me strong. Desire to protect others, said Gaara. Naruto nodded. If you want, I can be your friend. Gaara's eyes widened. Friend, will you really become my friend? Naruto nodded with a smile. But before that, let's finish our match, said Naruto as he went through signs. Lighting style electromagnetic murder, said Naruto as he sent an electric wave towards Gaara. Gaara didn't have any energy left, so he took the attack. Gaara fell to the ground unconscious before saying, friend, my first friend. Winner of the match. Naruto of the cloud at the cage boot. I and Minato just smiled after hearing Naruto's words. Well, Raikage, I must say your son is strong but also a pure-hearted man, said the Kazekage. The Kazekage couldn't believe the boy just befriended Gaara. Trust me, he is. I have tried to spoil him, but he only takes how much he needs. All he needs his my and you is love for him. At least that is what he says, said I with pride in his voice. Minato just looked at Naruto with regret in his eyes. His son calls someone else his father, but he couldn't blame him after what he and his family did. He owes Naruto at least that much. One at the stance, every genin and the Jonin sensei looked at Naruto in awe. When Naruto arrived, he was hugged by Kiyomi. One sad Kiyomi with a smile. Well, what did you expect? Yugito just went towards Naruto and smacked him in the head. Hey, what the heck was that for begin late and making me worried, said Yugito. Well, you can blame B-sensei for that. Yugito looked at a sweating B. Well, sensei, why were you late? Well, he was peeping on the girls at the hot springs, said Naruto. Yugito looked at B and kicked him in the balls. Well, that's your punishment, said Yugito. Naruto just cringed seeing B at the ground holding his balls. Well, so did you master that jutsu you have been working on, said Yugito. Naruto just looked at his left hand and hooded. Yugito gulped. If the jutsu was as strong as he said, there is no doubt that Naruto will win the tournament. Menma just looked at Naruto with rage in his eyes. How did a loser like him get so strong, and why is Kiyomi taking to him after so many times I have asked her out? Sasuke was looking at Naruto as he approached. Naruto, hey, my name is Sasuke Uchiha. Hello Sasuke, my name is Naruto. Nice to meet you. You are Kiyomi's brother, right? Sasuke just nodded. They both looked at each other and smiled. Looking forward to our battle, said Sasuke. Same here, said Naruto. 3 at the arena. Will Shikamaru and Tamari come down? This fight goes the same as canon. Winner Tamari of the Sand One. Will all the contestant come down? You will be given 1 hour to rest and the second rounds of the exams will begin. They all nodded. Naruto went towards Kiyomi and grabbed her hand and took her to the back of the arena, making Kiyomi blush. Naruto, where are you taking me? She said. Well, you see, Kiyomi, I didn't want anyone to hear us. What, said Kiyomi, still blushing. Well, Kiyomi, you see, after the exams or finishes, I will stay in the village for only about 5 days, and I am not sure when I will meet you again. I just wanted to get this off my chest. What do you want to tell me? She said, praying to God that he says what she is thinking. Well, you see, Kiyomi-chan, I really like you, and I want you to be my girlfriend, he said, blushing like crazy. Kiyomi just looked at him in shock, then smiled, looking at his blue eyes, and then he both came close to each other until their lips meet. After separating, Kiyomi smiled. Does that answer your question? She asked. Naruto's smile only grew until he kissed her again as they started to make out. Unknown to them, Yua, Naruto's adopted mother, was watching the whole scene with a smile on her face. She wanted to congratulate Naruto, but then she saw Naruto going somewhere with a girl. She knew who this girl was. She was the girl that Naruto used to talk about. She decided to leave and give them some privacy. After 45 minutes, both Kiyomi and Naruto were walking with a smile on their face, which was noticed by both Sasuke and Yugito. Yugito just grinned, realizing what happened. Same can be said for Sasuke, since he knew his sister had a crush on Naruto. Kiyomi was hiding the hickey on her neck with a scarf. Yua saw Naruto and gave him a warm smile. Naruto saw Yua and ran towards her and hugged her. Yua hugged her son back. Mom, did you saw my match? He said, breaking the hug. I did. I am so proud of you, Naruto, she said, kissing the top of his forehead. Yugito and the others could not help but smile at the scene. Kushina Luli at the scene with tears in her eyes that could have been her. She didn't want to admit, but Menma was a spoiled brat who would just think doing something like that was embarrassing. So why don't you tell me about her after the exams? Said Yua, looking at Kiyomi. They both blushed. Mom, how did you? Said Naruto. I know you, Naruto. I could just tell it by the look on both of your faces, and her wearing that scarf so suddenly doesn't help either, Yua said with a smirk. Mom, said Naruto, blushing as Yua, Sasuke, Yugito, Amoi and Air laughing as the other were clueless about what happened too. Okay, now the first mock of the second rounds are going to start. Will Menma and Tamari come down to the arena? PLZ. They both arrived at the center of the arena. Are you both ready? They both just nodded. Begin. Menma made few shadow clones that rushed towards Tamari. Tamari just used her wind jutsu to dispel all of them. Menma then threw several kunais and shuriken towards Tamari. Tamari used her wind jutsu to blow all of them off. Menma rushed towards Tamari. Tamari used her wind jutsu again at Menma, who was just rushing at her. What a fool, she thought. Suddenly Menma vanished in form of the kunai that he threw before, which Tamari didn't notice. Then Menma vanished again right in front of her, this time a Rasengan in his hand. Tamari didn't have time to react as Menma slammed the Rasengan in her stomach, sending her flying and knocked her out. Winner of the match, Menma. Namikaze. The crowd erupted in cheers to see their beloved son of the Hokage win 3 at the stance. I see, said Naruto after just watching Menma using the Flying Thunder God. He could tell Menma's Flying Thunder God was incomplete and had a weakness. Yugito, Sasuke and Kiyomi just looked at him with a raised eye. You saw something, didn't you? Said Yugito. Naruto gave her a blank look, which Yugito knew too well that look meant that he will not speak a word about what he found out. Yugito sighed. Menma came up to the stance and gave Naruto a smirk. Naruto looked at him with no interest, which just made Menma more angry. Will Yugito of the Cloud and Shino come down to the arena? Both of them made their way down to the arena. Are you both ready? They nodded. Begin. Both Yugito and Shino flipped back and gained some distance from each other. Yugito rushed towards Shino with an impressive show of speed. Shino sent his bugs after Yugito. Yugito went through hand signs and said, "Fire style flaming mouse," as Blue Mouse rushed towards Shino's bugs, killing them. Shino then stepped back and sent his female insect towards Yugito. Yugito was too fast as she appeared in front of Shino and stabbed him with her katana. Then Shino turned into bugs. Shit, a bug clone. Yugito thought hidden jutsu beetle spear as Shino bugs completely surrounded Yugito. Shit, Nibi, I need your chakra, but kitten, you will not be able to fight in the finals if you use my chakra, said the two tails. I know, but I have so far. I can't lose now. Besides, I will let Naruto fight, that spoiled son of the Hokage. I know I can't win against Naruto anyway. Very well, said the two tails as red chakra surrounded Yugito as all of Shino's bugs died due to the two tails chakra. I forfeit, said Shino. If I continue this match, I will lose all of my bugs, and this is a battle I know I can't win very well. Winner by forfeit. Yugito of the Cloud at the stance. Looks like it's our battle, Naruto, said Sasuke with a smirk. Looks like it, said Naruto with a smirk of his own. Will Naruto of the Cloud and Sasuke Uchiha come down to the arena? PLZ. Naruto appeared in the middle of the arena with a fire sunshine. Sasuke just walked there. You both ready? They both nodded. Begin. They both looked at each other, not wanting to make the first move. Naruto, being impatient, created some fire clones as they rushed towards Sasuke, trying to measure his skills. Sasuke quickly, with an impressive show of strength, dispelled them all, but was careful not to get burned by the flames that appeared after the clones disappeared. Sasuke rushed at Naruto and engaged him in a taijutsu battle in which Naruto was winning. With high difficulty, Sasuke jumped back and went through hand signs and said, "Fire style dragon flame jutsu." Naruto at the same time went through hand signs of this own and used the attack that defeated Rock Lee, fire style fire control blazing king, as a phoenix formed of fire rushed towards Sasuke. Fire dragon. It was very obvious that Naruto's fire attack was stronger. Sasuke barely managed to escape the fire phoenix, but he still got burned in his arm. Naruto activated his fire clock and fire blade in his fire blade. Surprisingly to Naruto, Sasuke activated his Sharingan and took out his katana and was able to keep up with his speed. Naruto and Sasuke were clashing throughout the battlefield, Naruto with his fire blade and Sasuke with his sword with lighting chakra at the cage's boot. I must say, Hokage, I am impressed that the Uchiha is able to keep up with Naruto's speed in his fire clock, said I. Minato just smiled. Menma and Sasuke was the most powerful genin of the exams. I say they both should be promoted to high Chunin, said the Kage. Both I and Minato nodded at the stance. All the genins were looking at the battle in awe. They barely see both Sasuke and Naruto. Yugito and Amoi were shocked. No genin, heck, even Chunin, were able to keep up with Naruto's speed. B had the same thought, but he knew Naruto would win, so he smirked at the arena. Both Naruto and Sasuke were panting as they stared at each other. Sasuke then jumped into the air and lifted his sword up and went through hand signs lighting style. Thundergates, said Sasuke as he used his strongest long-range attack. Naruto's eyes widened as he saw the huge thunder wave coming towards him. Naruto went through his own set of hand signs fire style, fire control blazing king as Naruto's fire phoenix rushed at Sasuke's lighting wave. There was a huge explosion from what everyone guessed the whole arena was destroyed. Both Makoto and Yua watched with worried look on their faces. As the smoke cleared, the entire arena was destroyed, but both boys were nowhere to be seen. Kakashi looked at the left side of the wall and saw Sasuke charring up his Chidori. B saw Naruto on the right side charring up his purple lighting. Both Sasuke and Naruto rushed at each other. Chidori, said Sasuke. Purple lighting, said Naruto. Their attacks clashed and there was a huge explosion. Everyone were looking at the battle at the edge of their seat. The smoke started clearing up as Sasuke could be seen unconscious and Naruto on his knees panting. Winner of the match, Naruto of the cloud. There was silence and then the crowd burst in cheers since that was the best match of the whole exam. Medics quickly rushed and took both boys away. After that, Yugito spoke. Proctor, I would like to forfeit. Everyone stared at her, shock written on their face except B, who knew why she was doing this. My body can't be recovered for full 2 days, so I can't battle. The proctor just nodded. Then the Hokage came at the middle of the stadium. The finals of the Chunin exams will be held tomorrow. The final match will be Menma, Namikaze and Naruto of the cloud. After that, everyone left. Makoto Itachi went to check up on Sasuke and Yugito. Yua B and I went to check up on Naruto. Kiyomi went to check up on both of them. Once Yua and the others arrived, they saw Naruto and Sasuke talking. Yua looked at Naruto bandages on his right arm. She went and hugged Naruto. Mom, I can't breathe. Sorry about that, said Yua. I was just so worried after seeing you. Mom, I am fire. I only have a little chakra exhaustion. Then Yugito hugged Naruto. You made me worried, you idiot. Don't worry, Nei-chan, I am fine. Then Naruto looked at I and smiled. Hey dad, how was my match? Did I did good, said Naruto. I smiled. You did great, son. I am proud of you. Naruto smiled. Getting a compliment from his father was not a thing that happened often. That means that his father was impressed by his performance. After they all left, Kiyomi came to the room and smiled at both Naruto and Sasuke. She asked Sasuke if he was okay, which he nodded. She then asked Naruto if he could walk. Naruto only nodded and told her that the only reason he was not getting of the bed because he was having too much fun talking to Sasuke. Kiyomi just sighed. Okay, you coming out of bed? Naruto stood up. Okay, let's go, said Naruto. They both waved Sasuke goodbye and left. So Kiyomi-chan, where are we going? To my home. I want home. I just want to spend some time with you. Naruto-kun. Naruto blushed. They both went to Kiyomi's house and were greeted by Itachi. Since Makoto was still at the hospital with Sasuke, they both went to her room before Naruto receiving a glare from Itachi telling him not to do anything stupid. When they entered the room, Kiyomi locked to room and kissed Naruto and started making out with him, which he returned gladly. They both knew what their limits were, so they both just make out for good 15 minutes and talked for hours. Naruto even asked Kiyomi out on a date after the Chunin exams, which she gladly accepted since they were a couple. One next day, the entire stadium was filled with people. In the stands were all the joining senseis. The rookies Yua, Yugito and Amoi Minato appeared at the middle of the stadium. I thank you all who came to watch the match between Naruto and Menma. I would like both of them to come down to arena. Both Menma and Naruto walked towards the arena. I wish both of you good luck and start this match. As he vanished and appeared in the cage's boot and cut. What do you guys think? Sold I Continue this story. The next part will be released tomorrow. Bye.